Hi, my name is Will, and welcome to the Distorted Transmission for this week. I'm talking to Tamaki Makoto's Grym Rhymney. How are you guys?
Good, thanks,
Yeah,
bro.
pretty sweet.
We're good, thank you.
First off is intros as always. Could you introduce who you are, what you do in the band, and also any other things you do in the band, like if you do management or if you're the primary songwriter, things like that. Those little bits of information are also useful.
Oh,
Good.
I start.
Start with
My name's Isaac. I play drums and do I guess I do a bit of tracking, a bit of audio engineering for the initial stages, and then we send it to someone who can actually mix. Probably. Yeah, that's pretty much my job.
I'm Albie. I play guitar, and I'm I'd say at this stage the primary songwriter. That may change going forward, but yeah, for the moment, I'm writing most of the stuff.
Okay.
I'm Hamish. I'm the vocalist, and I spell check Albie's lyrics.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jamie. I'm the bass player. Pretty much just the bass player at this point. Yeah.
My name is Spencer. I also play guitar, and I control the band's money.
Oh,
Kind of
yeah.
like
He's the-
fun task. Accountant, baby. That's me.
CFO.
All right, so if you could give me a very brief history of the band, like when you guys formed and when this current lineup became a thing as well.
When we exactly formed is kind of a bit up in the air because it was kind of just a project that I had going all the way through high school that just never really got anywhere till 2020. But yeah, so I'd say 2019 is when shit really started. And then yeah, the current lineup, apart from Hamish, we've been in this lineup for about 2 years?
Nearly 3. Oh no, wait, no, I joined in 2021. Jokes.
Yeah, about 2
2
years, and then Hamish joined earlier this year.
Right, yeah, because I last time I interviewed you guys, Hamish wasn't in the band, and then I saw Hamish in some of the photographs, and I was like, was he in the band and just didn't come to the interview? And I've been oblivious of that fact. But I've seen you guys live, and he wasn't there, and I was like,
You've been jamming with us since January.
Yeah, you guys were picking me up from my house because I had the cast on.
You broke
Yeah,
your ankle
broken ankle.
from dropping a rock on it, as you do.
But yeah,
I guess that's something to talk about then, the newbie. So how's the transition to sort of being the vocalist in the band going?
I could have had better bandmates now.
Where's the lie?
Yeah, we don't like you either, bro.
Oh,
So,
man.
yeah,
It's all work.
yeah.
No, it's good. It's I think even still now I get a bit nervy before the shows, and before the most recent one, it was our biggest show that I've done in the band, and so I was definitely quite nervous, but I think I'm getting more used to it and feeling more comfortable to just not overthink it on stage and just enjoy it. So yeah, I've been enjoying playing the gigs a lot, and I'm excited to be kind of more of the behind the scenes and music creation process now that we're kind of riding into that stage soon enough.
So you guys were the very first Distorted Transmission interview back in 2021 when this little project of mine began. I had to look for the video online and was disappointed to see that I'm actually wearing the same shirt today, which is a bit of a shameful plug of my own band. We discussed your first album, Wake in the Silence, which was a massive 11 tracks, which you dropped all in one hit. Later in 2020, you released another 6-track entitled The Shadows We Cast Years Ago. So all up, that was 17 tracks dropped in a single year. So that was pretty amazing. That was like a massive outburst of everything that you'd written probably since day one.
Yeah.
And now 3 years on, your 5-track EP, This Is What Your Hands Were Made For, dropped late last month. So how's the response been so far for your latest release?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. We've gotten good feedback from people who've listened to it and stuff. We're certainly proud of it. And yeah, it's overall been pretty well received.
Release show was a sick night as well. That was just Saturday gone.
It's great
Yeah,
energy. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was definitely the vibe. It's good times.
Do you think releasing smaller amounts of work in one hit, for example, like a 5-track as opposed to the initial very ambitious 11, do you find that you're able to sort of focus more on the songs individually and sort of get more out of them or like develop them more?
Yeah, definitely. In my opinion, I'm not sure when we'll probably do another like full length album. I think EPs are a lot more manageable, and then you can do more releases more frequently, and that'll probably be the way forward for us.
And less like filler tracks, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. No padding out the album with 3 shit songs.
No interludes.
And then like there's always 4 songs that nobody listens to anyway. So it's like you release 5 and it tends to be 5 pretty tight songs. Versus a slightly bloated album.
For sure. All right, so Matt Hammond from Power Flag tracked the vocals and mixed and mastered the 5-track, 27-minute long EP this time round. I think last time you guys, I think, would have done it in the house, I believe. So, how was that experience like working with somebody else in their sort of studio environment?
The biggest asset I think about doing it with him was his feedback in the room. Like if you know if the take was shit, he was gonna say something about it, and having an outside ear was really valuable during the tracking process.
And he like gets what we're trying to do, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
helpful.
for sure.
It's like similar music that he's into, so and that he plays, so it's kind of
For people unfamiliar with the band, what kind of material do you write about, and what are your influences?
RuneScape.
Yeah, I mean, like in terms of lyrical content, it's all pretty like normal everyday shit. Like I don't know if Hamish will end up writing some stuff along different lines, but I tend to write about actually my like experiences and stuff. I don't tend to write about like violence or that sort of, or like
Relationships,
Yeah.
breakup songs, none of that.
yeah, no that's
politics.
It's a hard no from us.
yeah, just generally like experiences that I've had in my own life.
All right. Well, could you narrow that down? I mean, obviously, it's not like doing the dishes.
I would write a song about doing that. I mean, so Heathen Remains off the new EP is just about, when you fucking have too many drinks and act like a dumb cunt. And
the next day you're like, oh crap, what did I do last night?
Yeah. Or This Is What Your Hands Made For is just like about, kind of when you're like a bit down on your luck and you want to kind of retake control of your life, sort of thing. Tend to write about stuff just from my own life, really.
Kind of like Albie's diary.
Yeah, pretty much. So far, with a few like songs about video games and shit, fucking fictional shit mixed in there. But yeah, for the most part, just whatever I'm feeling shit about at the time.
All right. What about influences?
Train.
We love Train so
We
much.
love Train.
Best band in the world.
Drums wise is probably just like the more extremely high energy metalcore drummers, like just having that hardcore edge in there. Just like hitting hard and like putting, kind of absolutely sending it every time you play is like my big thing. There's a band called Crystal Lake, which have a really amazing drummer.
Right.
That's kind of for me, like where I come from.
Anybody else?
I really, really like Avenged Sevenfold. But our music doesn't probably sound that much like that. But that's probably my biggest influence.
I think as a like a screaming vocalist, when I first started learning to scream, I was very inspired by bands like Amon Amarth and Opeth, like those really deep, full sounds. But these days, like vocalists with very unique, like you can, it's just, it's their vocals, like James Hetfield and even Gerard Way and like John Tardy from Obituary as well. Like, his really like it's him. Like, I think those kinds of really like accented vocalists, if you could put it like that, inspire me a lot. So
Anybody else? That bassist is pretty quiet.
Jamie,
This is Jamie.
Turn the bass up in the mix.
Yeah. No, you always turn me the fuck down. Nah, yeah, I guess like musically and bass playing quite different. Like musically very all over the place. Like obviously listen to a lot of metal. Like Lamb of God and would probably be one of the bigger metal influences for me. But then bass playing, and I was more, I guess, kind of inspired by like a lot of funk bass players like Victor Wooten and stuff. And like Jaco Pastorius and that sort of shit. So I don't know how much that's translating into my bass playing in the band, but that was more kind of my vibe with the instrument versus music would be a lot more metal and hardcore and shit. So
You know, me personally,
No one cares what you
nothing. Everyone else got a turn, so I think I'm gonna have my turn.
It's
now.
inspired by LB.
Yeah, inspired by LB apparently. Nothing too outlandish for me. Like fucking, start off with Metallica, same as any metalhead does. Like, got good learning their songs and stuff. And then these days, I guess just like the main kind of like metalcore bands kicking around, like Bring Me to Horizon, like you mentioned before. Asking Alexandria and like stuff like that. Even like Slipknot these days, and really enjoying. So,
Fair enough. Next thing, you tend to play in Auckland for the most part. You're sort of a Thirsty Dog, Dead Witch, and possibly Wine Cellar, that kind of Bermuda Triangle.
St.
St. Kim's Arcade. So I was sort of wondering, do you have plans to maybe sort of take your music outside of Auckland at any point?
We are playing a show in Rotorua on the 23rd of September. That'll be our first out of town show, so that'll be sick. For the rest of the year, it's probably looking like it's going to stay in Auckland for us. But next year, we're definitely keen to start lining up some like Hamilton shows and possibly like Tauranga or something. Wellington, if we can get the gas money.
What's the date of the Flaming Record show?
That's in Auckland, but we do have we're supporting Flaming Records who are coming over from Oz. That's on
22nd
of October,
so come to it.
Yeah, definitely.
We also are like pretty keen to play more all ages shows because like we've basically been doing the trifecta of bars that have metal bands. And we haven't really put that much time into the all ages scene, which is kind of kicking off at the moment. Like there's lots of kids.
The all ages shows are going hard.
So we're like keen to get in amongst that. So like hit us up.
Local kindergarten.
If you need a metal band to play.
At the local creche,
We could play at Denny's.
Play at the maternity ward. Just
Where is there a Denny's?
There's one up. We should play the Denny's a lot.
All right, cool. Well, I don't really have many more questions for you. So usually at the end of the interview, I ask people, is there anything else they'd like to add to the interview?
Listen to Train. Shout out to Swamp Cults.
Shout out to Swamp Cult Records for all their help with the EP. They've been super good. They put on heaps of shows. Go to the Swamp Cult shows. They're dope. And
shout out Rive.
Yeah, shout out Rive who did our artwork. He's the man. He's Rive Art and Illustration on Instagram.
Oh, also we've finally got merch. So.
We have merch. So
and CDs.
Oh yeah, when are they actually done?
No, the CDs are done now.
As of today.
Yeah.
We were hoping to have them for the release show, but
complications arose.
The first batch we got didn't work, so we had to get them redone. Apart from that,
classic gag.
If you can't make it to a show but you want to buy some virtual CDs, just like hit us up on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and like we can send them to you.
Do you also have stuff on Bandcamp? You have your merch and stuff set up there?
That's a good idea. We should set that up.
Yeah, we should set that up, and then we should also check it once we do, because I am bad at checking Bandcamp.
Will can just be like our Bandcamp man.
I think he might be a bit busy, bro.
All right, guys. Well, thanks very much for the chat tonight. And if anybody wants to buy some merch from these guys, regardless of how they've come across, you can go to Bandcamp and check that out. Hopefully they've got that set up and by next week, maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Bites enough.
All right, guys. Well, thanks very much for the chat and best of luck with everything going forwards. And yeah,
Thank you very much.
say goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching.